Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show. We have breaking news for you tonight. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. You got to listen up carefully. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and click that notification bell. It's amazing. The lights are bright. I got to take off the lights off my eyes here. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, breaking news. I told you last night at PIP Mondays. It's not a good look, and you got to take heed as we bring to you the weather news for Jamaica. As you can see, breaking news, tropical storm Mellisa threatens Jamaica, and there's going to be possible hurricanes. That's not a joke. Possibility as it develops. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right in and take that to the stage right now, because this is a big deal. So here we go.
Thank you for being with me. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. It is Tuesday, October 21st, 2025. I've been doing this for decades, and with a system like this, as dangerous of a system as this is going to be, the most critical time is actually not when it's hitting. It is right now. I cannot stress that enough. If you could do me the favor and share this information, you don't even need to subscribe. I just want the correct information out. That is exactly why I do this channel, for this reason. The Dominican Republic, Haiti, and now Jamaica. We need to take action. We could have historic levels of rain. It looks like it could be kind of a worst case scenario as far as the rain goes with this system. And I don't say any of that lightly. With that said, I know that's kind of scary information to pass along. There's a lot of heavy talk in this video that I'm doing for you. With that said, it's not going to hit all of us, right? So I want to still keep it in perspective. But where this is going to go, it is going to slow down. We've seen systems like this, different locations from Harvey in Texas to Dorian in the Bahamas, how when these systems slow down, they cause this life-threatening situation. I've been doing this for decades, and with that, I've seen this. And this is one of those scenarios that we're going to see moving closer. Already the rain, we've seen it in parts of Puerto Rico. It's been picking up in the Dominican Republic. For some of us, it's going to start to rain, and then it's just going to continue for days and days and days. This is going to be a very slow mover. So with that, we are now taking action in some different locations. Now, let me show you the track of this first. We'll go step by step in this video. You can see the track here. Right now, it is a tropical storm. It is Mellisa. Winds about 50 to 60 miles per hour. So we're talking about an 80 to about 96 or 100 kilometers an hour. This is going to work its way very close to the south coast of Haiti or the east coast of Jamaica. And as it does, it is going to strengthen most likely into a hurricane. But this here is Friday into Saturday. Several days from now, you see a lack of movement. This is exactly what I'm talking about with this system, just how slow it is going to go. Here's a closer look. So tomorrow, Wednesday into Thursday, we're talking about extreme levels of rain that will be picking up. Now, keeping it in perspective, Jamaica, not as much tomorrow. It's going to pick up tomorrow, no doubt, but more so Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Then as this area gets closer on Thursday, Jamaica, that's when we're going to start to see our rain chance really picking up. Then Friday into Saturday, this should develop into a hurricane. Either way, the issue is how slow it's going to be. It'll be very close to the east side of Jamaica and the southern coast of Haiti as either a strong tropical storm or a hurricane by the time we get into Saturday. That means days of rain that continue to pump in. Then on Saturday into Sunday, it is either going to swing into Jamaica, very close, could be on the south coast, and there's still a slight chance, though, that it could kind of get picked up and just simply move across Haiti. But either way, it will still be a slow mover Sunday into Monday. That's one of the big issues. So with that, we've had watches and warnings that have been issued, all of that, a lot of watches out for this point in time right now. Southern end of Haiti, that's where we have the hurricane watches that are out. They'll most likely switch over to warnings. They're actually the hurricane watches out for Jamaica. We have those tropical storm watches. They're going to switch over, though. All of these are going to switch over to warnings. So know that I mentioned that. So once you start to get, depending on your government, how warnings are issued, they're going to be warnings. But you'll know ahead of time that that is coming. They'll switch over to warnings down the road. But this will gradually move to the north, and then then it will just start to hang out as we work our way into the weekend, most likely as a hurricane, just spinning in days and days of rain. So I mentioned now is the most critical time because we can control things as far as what we do and how we help others in getting the word out. So Jamaica, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, we're in full throttle action mode at this point. And it just has to be that case. I was really trying to hold off for Jamaica, just hoping that we'd see more changes. But because of the slow movement, we need to take action. So if you live in an area that has had a significant storm before and you've had flooding before out of it, this system could be even more significant, right? So if you're in one of those areas, you want to take those preparations best you can. We all have different means, so we could try to help each other. We all have different means. But if you're living down by a river, if you're near one of those river crossings, if you're in an area on a hillside that is susceptible or that can get rock slides, mudslides, that's where you may need to think of moving to a different location if you can as we go forward. Now, I know this talk can cause panic. Please listen to others that are around you that have gone through similar situations. I want everyone, of course, to take everything in perspective. We've got a little time, right? The rain is already building across the DR. It will build in Haiti. Jamaica, we've got a little time to kind of monitor this together. And as we go forward, I'll be able to fine tune some of the rain, some of the winds, and I'll what we'll get. But we are taking action. And the main thing is we're taking action for the very life-threatening rain that we're going to see, especially in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and then eventually working its way toward Jamaica. Now, eastern Cuba and Puerto Rico, with the track as it stands now, boy, this one is not an easy one. I'll let you know what I know and what I don't know. This could change. There's no doubt there could be changing, but the system's not far away. So it makes sense that, hey, even if something didn't happen and we were okay, it makes sense now that we have to take those preparations just because the system is so close. But right now, parts of eastern Cuba and Puerto Rico, please spread the word that we're going to have some significant rain around. Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, rest of Cuba, and the Cayman Islands. I'm watching carefully to see how this system goes. A lot of the modeling eventually kind of wants to swing this around. This is going to be a long haul, 6, 7, 8, 9 days out. We are still going to be tracking this thing. Now, as far as the rain goes, this gives us a sample. This is a 4-day rain total. It does include tonight, but we're talking about Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, into Saturday. And you see in here, this green shading in here, this is 30 centimeters or 300 millimeters of rain or 12 inches of rain. I do believe this model is underdone. What I mean by that is because it's going to be such a slow mover in scenarios I've seen like this, we've seen double this, 600 millimeters in spots. 2 feet of rain in spots. That's 24 inches of rain in spots, trying to cover everyone with the units. Now, as I mentioned, though, that's not going to be for all of us. The best chance of that happening, though, would be across the southern coast of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. And this is based on the American model. All of this rain's probably a little bit more toward the west. The model's just a little bit off. It's done a good job, though, as a whole. But more of this could be near Jamaica. So Jamaica, at least over the next couple of days, I mentioned that the rain isn't just going to surge in for all of us tomorrow, right? It's going to start to build tomorrow, but more so Thursday and a Friday. So in the short term.
Whoa, man, amazing car. When did you become a millionaire?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for...
Let's take that off for a second and get back to regular programming. Here we go.
Eastern sections, we could start to build up 100 to about 150 millimeters of rain or 4 to 6 of us have already had the flooding that I've been tracking over the last few days. Now, you see this, the modeling here looks a little crazy, I know, because some of the models still want to bring this right up across Hispaniola. Others want to kind of swing it back toward the west. Now, it's a weird scenario where either of those could happen. But what I like to focus on is what I know is going to happen to help you prepare. In the short term, all of the models have this kind of moving up toward the north and northwest, right? Slowly. So that's why that flood threat, Jamaica, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic, that's why we're now in action mode, helping each other out, making some of the preparations. Some of us may not have to.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as you heard the meteorologist said, we're now in preparation mode. That's significant. Preparation mode means not to sit down and watch, but to actively begin your preparations for the worst. and hope for the best. Because right now, the way it's looking, especially in these areas, is over the next few days, it's going to get worse. And there's a possibility of this developing into a hurricane. So, as it sits there and meanders around the area of the Caribbean, there's going to be a lot of rain, flooding, landslides, and so on associated with the areas of high rainfall. So, no matter how you look at it, something is going to happen, and it's going to happen over the next few days. In most areas, in some parts of Jamaica, as I've heard from some of my friends in Kingston, they've been having rains all day. So, not because you're on one side of the island and nothing is happening, you still got to prepare, because this thing can turn in any direction real quick. And it is set to stay over the Caribbean for a few days before it moves. So let's continue to listen to the meteorologist as he speaks on this subject, this emergency subject, I call it. So keep listening to your emergency channels, your weather channels, your government channels, and also like, share, subscribe, comment, and click the notification bell on NARAM Promotions, the Real Deal Podcast Show. Share it and also comment. We're also getting ready to we're actively watching the system, and we're going to be standing by also for those who want to reach out to loved ones. We're going to open our lines during, if it becomes a major event where communication breaks or major damage happens. We're going to come on live and open our phone lines so that you can come in and make reports, and also get in touch with others once they come online if they're in a area that is damaged. So keep listening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
To do a whole lot, but others, again, if we're near water, if we're in that rock slide type of zone, we may need to think of moving and kind of staying safe as the rain is going to build up, and eventually the river crossings are going to get very, very dangerous. We'll see that over by Jacmel with the river crossings. As the rain piles up, that's what we're going to see. Now, here's the Google DeepMind, which did a very good job with the track of Hurricane Aaron. Everything shifted a little bit more to the west. Again, that's overall worse news for Jamaica over toward parts of Cuba. Keeping an eye down the road, as I mentioned, this gives us a feel that this area may eventually swing. Now, elsewhere, I'm watching everywhere. If this were to drift closer to Central America, I got you covered. Belize, Honduras, Nicaragua, watching San Andres, Providencia. And then if this were to swing closer to Cuba, Florida, Bahamas, east coast of the U.S., I'll be watching it. But in the short term, you see how odd of a track this may take. We'll see if this shifts. Do expect we're going to have a lot of changes since this is a slow mover. Slow movers lead to more uncertainty, and with that, we'll see how this shakes out. But everything's kind of shifted a little bit more back to the west. As far as the strength goes, the water temperatures are really warm, but there is some wind shear. Wind shear or winds above our heads that can knock off the developing rain and storms, the thunder or the cloud tops. That's a good thing. We want wind shear. There is some wind shear. Water temperatures, though, are warm, which is bad. So the strengthening should be gradual. I'll monitor for any rapid intensification. If this gets stronger quicker, I'll put out another video. I'll let you know right away. But in the short term, a strengthening tropical storm. This is 2 days out, 3 days out, 4 days out. At that point, a good amount of the models want to make this a hurricane by the time we get into the weekend. Here are those water temperatures, but I don't just look at what's at the surface. I look.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when you're talking 2 to 3 days out or 4 days out, that puts you directly into the weekend. So we're at Tuesday, and 4 days from now is Saturday. Now, remember that you had some events that were planned for Saturday, October 25th. I'm going to go into that after the report, but let's continue to listen, because it is set that roundabout there, the weekend, they're going to know whether or not, or you're going to know whether or not this is a hurricane. But the waters are favorable for a hurricane. It's a slow mover. That means a slow mover it's not a good look. If it comes through and go, that's fine. But when it sits over warm water and it's meandering around, then a lot of water is going to be, shed upon the countries like Jamaica, Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. As you watch this weather report, you'll see that where it's sitting right now and the position and direction that it's going shows that there's going to be a lot of rainfall for Jamaica, Cuba, Hispaniola, and the Dominican Republic, or Haiti, sorry. So here we go. Let's continue.
At what's going on above our heads, but this can lead to rapid intensification if the winds above our heads were to relax. Let's hope the wind shear does not relax. So they're kind of battling, but behind the scenes, I promise you, I'm watching all of that stuff for you. Now, looking at the differences in this, the European model has it this weekend very close to Jamaica as a slow-moving hurricane. And again, that's just days away. And that's why I mentioned we don't have a choice at this point other to be in action mode, because that is just the smart thing to do at this point, regardless of where this ends up. I really hope that makes sense. I trust your judgment with all of this. The American model has this, though, swinging late in the week, even before the weekend, swinging up toward Haiti and the Dominican Republic. I'll show you the European and the American model in just a moment. The Canadian model takes us a little bit more to the west, and that's why I mentioned watching other areas as well, not losing sight. And then the Icon German model has this kind of splitting very close to Jamaica and Haiti as either a tropical storm or a hurricane as we work our way late in the week. And that may be the general path, just kind of in between as a strong tropical storm or a low-end hurricane. But the rain is the initial problem. And then as I get a handle on the track, I'll fine-tune the wind for you. Now, here's a look at the updated European model. All these fronts up to the north cause issues with how we forecast this. This time of year, it's extra difficult because we have the autumn fronts around that are moving by the United States. Now, this here is tomorrow. Here's Jamaica. Here's Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, ABC Islands right through here. The system strengthening. The European model has this building into a hurricane rather quickly, so it's kind of latching on to what the American model's been showing. High pressures over here, that's like a blocker, like a fence, so it can't slide this way. There's a wall over here, and then this little front up here doesn't grab it, so it's just kind of stuck in place, just to give you a feel of why this is so difficult, why this may generally stall out. Then as we work our way into Thursday, the European model has this as a hurricane, just pumping in more rain, even for Puerto Rico. While it's not a direct hit, those outer rain bands working in, more heavy rain, the DR Haiti, back through Jamaica. This here would be by Thursday with the European model. Then on Friday, look how it doesn't move. And that is the concern I have. And that is just Friday. That's just a few days away where there could be a hurricane that is simply not moving for a couple days. High pressure, another blocker here, so it can't really escape because one front left. Then we'll be watching another front back toward the west. We need these to try to grab this thing. I do not wish this on anyone, but we need it. Just simply need it to move. Then by Saturday, it shows the European model. This system still hanging out right here. Here's Jamaica.
There's a lot of changes coming to the IRS.
So let's break that.
Does that mean that enforcement is also?
Yeah, so let's break that and go back to regular programming. Here we go, ladies.
Just hanging around. And this is incredible in the bad sense of the term. Don't root for storms on this channel, as you well know, as you could hear it in my voice. This could still be sitting near Jamaica on Sunday as a hurricane. And if it drifts a little bit more to the west, as the European model showing, conditions are conducive for strengthening potentially into a major hurricane. Then by Monday, Monday. So we're starting to talk almost a week from now. Eventually, there'll be something that tries to kick it somewhere. But as we get into next week, that could be good news for someone, bad news for somewhere else, as this may shoot it back toward parts of Cuba, maybe parts of the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, maybe back toward Haiti and the Dominican Republic. We will wait and see on that. There's a lot of time between now and then, but that is one of the issues. There's a lot of time between now and then, and this sucker may just get stuck near Haiti and Jamaica for days and days. Now, we take a look at the American model.
So if you just heard what he said, let me kind of take that back a little bit so you can get the full picture of what I'm saying. It's, if you notice, he just said it could get stuck near Jamaica and Haiti for days and days. That's not a good look. So this is the time to begin to prepare, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, come closer to the time, we will open our lens and our media will go live. And also we'll be taking calls of those who are concerned and want to send a message out to Jamaica if they cannot get in contact with their loved ones or their families or friends. So we'll be here for you. We'll be reporting to you live. And we'll be doing our research to see who we can contact there to get live videos and feeds to see how the weather is impacting the island, closer to the when it happens. So we're also going to try to get calls in from other sections of the Caribbean if we can. If you have our numbers, I'll put up the numbers in a short while after the report, so that you will have the numbers handy. You can call on WhatsApp if you cannot call us directly, and we'll patch you in live to get your report, to hear what's going on, and also to play those videos of what's going on the ground. So, ladies and gentlemen, continue to listen. Here we go.
Wait and see on that. There's a lot of time between now and then, but that is one of the issues. There's a lot of time between now and then, and this sucker may just get stuck near Haiti and Jamaica for days and days. Now, we take a look at the American model. This is a little different. The American model has done a good job picking up on how quickly this area would strengthen, and you could see it here, the core of it over water, but those rain bands working in for tonight. Parts of Haiti and the Dominican Republic on and off to start. The American model, though, wants to get those fronts I showed you. It says, hey, this front is actually going to grab it and lift it toward Haiti and the Dominican Republic. We'll see on that. More of the models and more of the indications in the atmosphere are bringing this closer to Jamaica. If this were to happen, this would be better news for Jamaica. Is that a chance? Yes. Do we still need to prepare? No doubt, because there's not a lot of time between now and then to kind of figure this out, and your safety is my number one priority. Then by the time we get into Thursday, it shows the heavy rain and the potential of a landfalling hurricane, Haiti and the Dominican.
So I wanted to just reiterate that. So it is a possibility that maybe Jamaica is spared, maybe not. But the timing between making that decision and preparing, or seeing the reality of it and preparing, that time frame is not enough. So the time to prepare is now. Whether or not it happens, the time to prepare is now. You got to be aware right now, because you do not have enough time between finding out where it's going to go and also getting prepared. So you got to start your preparations right now. So let's continue, ladies and gentlemen.
Closer to Jamaica. If this were to happen, this would be better news for Jamaica. Is that a chance? Yes. Do we still need to prepare? No doubt, because there's not a lot of time between now and then to kind of figure this out, and your safety is my number one priority. Then by the time we get into Thursday, it shows the heavy rain and the potential of a landfalling hurricane, Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Then by the end of the week, it just takes a sloppy system and keeps it kind of hanging around, which would be a worst case scenario for, say, places like Puerto Rico. Then we'd be talking about the U.S. and British Virgin Islands for heavy rain bands that would be filtering in.
So what he's going through is a number of models, depending if you're looking at the American model, the European model, or other models. Then some put this system over closer to Jamaica, through Cuba, and the American model, which he's describing here, puts it over Haiti and also Puerto Rico and those places. So these are only forecasts. It's to say this is where we think it's going to go, but we got to wait to see where it actually goes. So between now and the weekend, we're going to continue to watch this and come chime in from time to time for you to know where it's going or where it is at the moment and what damages it's creating at that point in time. So let's continue to listen, and then we're going to shift over to a few other things in relations to this system.
This scenario were to pan out. Now, what we're seeing here, this is by Saturday. One thing we are seeing in common, because I don't just look at the models, is that all of the models start to turn it, and then eventually, be it here or be it over here, start to swing it back, either a little bit sooner or a little bit later. So we're going to be watching out for that eventual turn. It depends on the timing and the strength of the fronts up to the north, but I do like to show you everything. This is the American model, has a different scenario. At some point, somewhere, we're going to prepare for something and a whole lot's not going to happen. At that point, though, we would just be grateful because we need to take the preps. Others, we're going to prepare and something's going to happen and we're going to be grateful we did prepare. Now, with all of that said, we are in action mode again. Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. Jamaica, we have a little more time, right? We're going to start to see the rain building.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you got to listen to this carefully. Like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, and also listen carefully as he sums up this section. So let's get back into the summary. I'll start that again from right this point. You got to listen carefully, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
Prepare and something's going to happen and we're going to be grateful we did prepare. Now, with all of that said, we are in action mode again. Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic. Jamaica, we have a little more time, right? We're going to start to see the rain building, so I'll be able to fine-tune how strong the winds will get. If we need to take extra action, we're preparing, no doubt, for the potential of flooding and the potential of hurricane winds in equal western, central, eastern sections from Kingston back through Montego Bay. We're all making those preparations. I'll fine-tune as we go forward where it could be a little worse, where it could be a little bit better. Same thing goes for Haiti. As of now, southern coast of Haiti looks to be worse. So as you swing back toward the peninsula, Boston Blue, Jacmel, that's where it looks to be worse. And then swinging toward the southern coast of the Dominican Republic, watching over towards Santo Domingo. Monitor mode, though, for Puerto Rico and eastern Cuba. We need to see kind of which path this takes. Is it more of the European model, which could be worse for Cuba? Is it more of the American model, which could be worse for Puerto Rico? Either way, we're looking out for some increased rain. The flood potential is life-threatening. And know that if I haven't mentioned your area, that's generally a good thing this time of year, but I'm watching all locations out ahead of it, what may happen down the road. But again, now is the time we could help others. We could spread the word as we're going to see heavy rain amounts moving in. So I appreciate you doing your part with me, getting the word out across Jamaica, Haiti, and the Dominican Republic. So thank you for your kindness, your patience, and we're thinking of you if you're making those preparations. Have a good night ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the meteorologist himself. So let's kind of recap and also summarize a lot of what he told us just now. It's not a good look for the Caribbean and Jamaica for between now and Monday. So we got to be in action mode. Begin to prepare for what is to come, and also make sure that your loved ones and also your families are safe. Make preparations. Help those who cannot help themselves. Those in flood-prone areas, areas that are susceptible to landslides and that good stuff. You gotta make sure you check on them. Also, ladies and gentlemen, prepare ahead of time. We don't know which direction it's gonna go over the next few days. However, whichever direction it takes, there's going to be some kind of impact. So prepare yourself. It's slated that according to conditions of the Caribbean waters, it can develop into a major hurricane. So it's very close at this point in time. We'll keep checking on that throughout the course of the week. As soon as if it comes and it has a major impact on Jamaica, we are going to open our lens live to you, or this show will go live, and we're going to put down below the numbers that you can contact us on if you're trying to get a hold of your loved ones or your family. You can always contact us, and on the numbers that are or the numbers that are showing down below. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for those in Jamaica to prepare. So, what I want you to do is to like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, and also tell those who do not know. So, if you are living under a rock for the last few days, this is the time to get up and prepare and share the word. You need to share it. There's a possibility of a hurricane coming, and but the conditions of the tropical storm, the weather conditions are very, very serious. So no matter how you look at it, something is going to happen during the course of that time. We've been talking about events over the past few podcasts for the 25th of September. Things like the Game of Love play. I'm not too sure what's going to happen there. I'm going to touch base with Sir Len Blake from Blakey's Complex to see what's going to go on there. If you remember that event, it's the Game of Love play in Downs District in Manchester. So I'm not too sure what he's going to be doing there, if he's going to postpone or he's going to continue to have that show. I'm not too sure, ladies and gentlemen, but I will, by Saturday Night Live, we will know exactly what's going on. I mean, not Saturday night, Thursday Night Live. We'll have answers to what's going on with this event. The Game of Love is slated for Saturday, October 25th. Also, as far as I know, with the Tampa event, I've been watching their website. Tampa, Florida does not seem to be affected. I don't think it's affected, ladies and gentlemen. I'll check on the weather condition there. Let's see. Let me get to that. I'll check on the weather conditions there to see what's going on for Stush. That's the biggest show, party in South Florida for 2025, and that's going to be on Saturday, October 25th. So those two events, I know. This event for the jerk cut, I know it's still going on because there's no weather event as far as I can see from the weather report. I'll check in with Andrew at the jerk hut to see if everything is okay there. You can always fly in to Tampa for this weekend and check out Kirky C and DJ Bambino. It's going to be the biggest party in South Florida for 2025, and there's the weather does not seem to be affecting this event. But however, for the Game of Love play at Blakey's Complex in Downs District in Manchester, we're going to check that out to see what's going on there, if everything is okay for Saturday. That's depending on what happens with the weather. So we're going to bring some news on that for you by Thursday. I'll check in with Mr. Len Blake from Blakey's Complex tomorrow to see what his decisions are for this event on the weekend. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, we want you to continue to prepare for this coming event. It's already started. It's a major event, as you can see from this. I'm going to put it up on screen here so that you can see what I'm talking about. But if you did not know, this is the time to begin to spread the word around that there is a major weather event coming. So let's not be procrastinating. Let's begin to be proactive and prepare for the event ahead. It's going to be a major, major event. So, ladies and gentlemen, take heed. This is no joke. And as you saw earlier, you can go back to the podcast. This is Tropical Storm Mellisa. It's heading in the direction of Jamaica. We'll see how strong or intensive it or how close it comes to Jamaica. If not pass over Jamaica, I don't know. In the next few days, it's some models are putting it over Jamaica, some models are putting it close to Jamaica. So we don't know. Over the next few days, we'll know exactly what happens. But in the meantime, we'll continue to open our live here to accommodate other people to listen and also call in closer to the time and during that period so that you can touch base with anyone there or send a message out. We're preparing for you. So on your side, like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. Also share this with someone who needs to know. If you're here in the United States, you can always call in and you can send a message out for you. So we're preparing ahead of time for the worst and hoping for the best. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare, prepare, prepare. That's what I got to say. So we also have a gentleman who was on here on PIP Mondays. He also offers billboards for advertisement for if you need to re-advertise after this event. You can do so by contacting myself. I'll get a number so you can contact him. They give you emergency billboards and they install them. So if you need to advertise after this event, if it damages your advertisement, this gentleman, that's Mr. Vivian Thomas, he has a team that is ready and raring to go to put back up your advertisements quickly, the shortest possible time that that can be had at this point, given the circumstances. They are ready to go. So I'll show you a few of his billboards here. They are different sizes. So let's kind of check that out. So you have this size. That's a 10 by 12, and this is what it looks like at the side of the road. It's very, very visible. He's got a few of them over on Reddy's Road and so on. And also, if you need billboards along those areas, those corridors, those high traffic corridors, contact me and I'll put you in contact with Mr. Vivian Thomas. Also, you can see, I'll give you a closer look at a few of those and some bigger ones here. So check it out, ladies and gentlemen. If you after a major weather system, you can lose your ads and it will take you a while to put up those ads on those corridors, those highways, roads, and so on. So Mr. Vivian Thomas can help you out there. So he can, he'll put you out. I'll put you in contact with him. I'll get a number to put up, during the course of this time, because after the event, you're going to need to regroup and reorganize. So this is a good way. But in the meantime, if you need it after the event, you can also contact me and I'll put you in contact with Mr. Vivian Thomas. So, ladies and gentlemen, the condition is, or the situation is for the weekend, there's going to be Tropical Storm Mellisa is threatening Jamaica at this point with some serious weather. So it could develop into a hurricane, and that's where we are. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. We're going to continue to monitor this system and see where it goes, because it's very close. And you in Jamaica, there, I'm sure you're feeling a lot of those rains already, especially on the eastern coast. So I spoke to a few people in Kingston, and they've been seeing that rain all day today. So those in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, they've been feeling it, and also in the areas of the Lesser Antilles got it, but places along there are getting a whopping rainfall. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. This is Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, and we say, please Like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. It is always a good look for you to do that. So pray when you're coming in. And always remember, God is in control. Prepare, ladies and gentlemen. Tropical storm Mellisa is threatening Jamaica at this point in time. Spread the word. Begin to prepare. Whether it hits full on or it just passes by, it's going to have a major impact. And that's what the projections are. Like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. And remember, God is in control. Thank you for being here at Naram Promotions, the Real Deal podcast show, where we tell you as it is, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned, stay locked, like, share, subscribe, comment, please. Like, share, subscribe, comment, click that notification bell. Do it right now. And we'll bring to you all the information that you need to know. This was a special report today, breaking news, and I had to bring it to you, and we always do that. So look out, like, share, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell. We'll be on here live to help you out. Also to get in contact with your loved ones, send a message, or just for you to be aware. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you at the next show. Goodness gracious me.